wonderful welcome to a very wet and very dreary South Nutfield. We're going to make a different thing today. We're going to do some starters for the Christmas table. Excuse me, I'm just eating something that my wife stole. Today I'm going to do a wild mushroom and walnut soup, which is a Delia recipe, but it's got a little bit of a twist to my own twist on it. So that'll be made in a minute. I'm also going to make a lovely Christmas prawn and smoked salmon pate, which can be put in either a ramekin or just served on toast, or some very nice biscuits. And this is the biscuits that the camera woman stole. Luckily she left us for some, so there you go. We're lucky to have that. We'll just put it in the bin within a second. Right, I'm going to go through the ingredients we're going to use for the soup first. And I've got about 120 grams, 150 grams of chopped mushrooms. And they're wild mushrooms, different types, shiitake and different types. I've left some just for garnish, just to show you as well. And then I move along to what I call the magic trinity for soup, which is diced onion, diced celery, carrot, about 1.5 teaspoons of dried thyme, and some stolen product. And if my neighbour is watching, Stephen Hargreaves, thank you very much, Stephen and Evie, for the loan of the bay leaves. We've also got here some walnuts, and what I did was put the walnuts into the coffee grinder, so it gives you a very, very fine mix. You don't want big lumps of walnut. Some lemon juice, some dry sherry, which I'm going to finish it off with, and then most importantly over here we have soaking, and I've been soaking for about an hour, dried porcini mushrooms. Absolutely wonderful flavour, very, very strong, but very nice. But it's very important to hydrate them, so you put them in boiling water and leave them for about half an hour before you start cooking. So let's make a quick start. Now, I particularly like soups. My mother wasn't a great soup maker, but my best mate Dabza, mother, Esther, bless her, she used to make ham hock and lentil soup, and you could really stand your spoon up in it. Neil always waxes lyrical, but it's typical of a journalist to wax lyrical. But I could just smell that now, some beautiful lentil and ham soup. And also with mushroom soup, it's very interesting. My Auntie Mary, who wasn't a great cook, but she did make very good soups. And when my cousin had a pub in Somerset, Mary used to make a vat of mushroom soup and take it down in the car from Gloucestershire down the motorway just south of Bristol, and Jeremy would meet her there and transfer the soup. So that was Mary's soup. Now, so what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to put the trinity of vegetables in butter. So just to get a nice coating, so we'll put that in there. Doesn't take long. You don't want it to be in there too long, you just want a coating of butter really. Just get everything in there, let's waste not, want not. Ah! Smells lovely. Get a quick coating of butter. And once it's got a coating, I'm going to add the porcini mushrooms, which are in there, along with the water. I'm just seeing if I'm live, I can't see it. So speak amongst yourselves for a minute, guys. Trying to find the live feed, can't find it at the moment. 1 second. Is it live? Yeah, it's live. Rosie, that was your grandma I was talking about. She made lovely soup. So your dad said. I'm waiting for him to cook it. That'd be good, wouldn't it? So that's just got a nice covering in, and now I'm going to add the porcini mushrooms in there. Oh, that's a lovely, lovely smell of porcini mushrooms, so that's good. Now, we'll get that going. Can you see it going in there? It's just turning darker with the porcini mushrooms. So we'll put that in. And then we add our stock. I'm using vegetable stock today, pure vegetable stock. So we'll pop that in there. Like, it's about just under 1.5 litres, 2 litres. Sorry, I'm being told by the cameraman my hand's in the way. Terribly sorry. We'll put that in there. Right, so that's now got to simmer gently for about 1.5 hours, and that's about an hour. But we're not going to wait for it. And what you do is you cook that soup, you simmer it for about an hour and a half. Take out the bay leaves because you don't want them in the soup, and then puree it. Once you've pureed it, we can add the rest of the mushrooms, which we're just going to saute quickly. And this just gives it a bit of texture. That's what it's for. We'll leave the big bits off. But I do like the mushrooms, and I love these wild mushrooms. They're smashing. But don't have them too big. You don't want huge chunks in there, do you? So just pop them in the pan, along with some walnuts. So just take the big pieces out, which are ready for garnish. Unusual putting walnuts in soup, isn't it? Yeah, very unusual, but never mind. In go that. So daisy. You see how it's like a sand almost, so it's not going to be too lumpy or anything like that, just a bit of sand. Go in there. So that's what you do. We'll just coat these again in butter, fry them off. And I suggest you fry them off about 5 minutes or so. It's quite nice, isn't it? Right, now, I'm not going to stand here and wait for this soup to cook, but believe me, it needs about an hour. Just slowly ticking over, not massively boiling, but just simmering across. So there's that one. Now I'll get rid of this for a minute. And it's funny, I can never remember having many starters at home. I think we had the odd prawn cocktail or two like that, but we never had very much. My mother wasn't very imaginative cook. She was a good cook, but not imaginative. In fact, Jane and I used to do all the starters later on in life, but there you go. So that is just to add to the soup when it's finished. And let me show you. 1 second, I'll get the camera woman out of the way. Here's one I produced earlier. The soup just starting to simmer. Excuse me. And here's one that I made earlier. And this is the soup, which is pureed and mushrooms added. And then what I do is to finish it off, just to give it a little bit of luxury. It is Christmas. I had a little bit of this dry sherry. I always remember my Auntie Betty had a bit of sherry, didn't she? She used to keep her drawing pins in the sherry glasses, but we just had a drop or two of that. There's already got some in, so I'm not going to put any more in. And we also introduced some lemon juice, just to put it right. NCL to us, yes. Got to get that one in. So the lemon juice will go in there as well afterwards. So that is my soup. I'll turn it off because it doesn't need to cook anymore. And I'll just show you the consistency of the soup. Now then. I hope this is a tasty starter, Margaret van der Weg, because that's what you asked for. And there we go, that's the soup. You can see there's pieces of mushroom in it as well. Can you just see that, camera woman? Thanks very much. And just a swirl of cream as you serve it, and that absolutely, it's a really good taste. I think the porcini mushrooms give it a lot of depth and flavour. Let me just try a bit. Oh yeah, lovely, quite strong wild mushroom soup. So that's a starter you can do on Christmas Day. Make it in advance. I don't see why not. Be great.
How much lemon?
Lemon is a half a lemon. Can you see that? It's about half a lemon in there. That's all you need. You don't need a full juice of a lemon. Let's switch it down. Oh, juicy lemons again, eh? The great juicy lemons. Right. Don't forget the walnuts as well. So that's my wild mushroom and walnut soup. Perfection it is for Christmas lunch. You can make it day before, 2 days before maybe even. Right. Moving along to my other starter. Now this is a bit of a take on smoked salmon and prawn cocktail. The old prawn cocktail. Right, I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do. And it's a very straightforward and simple pate I'm making. And in it I've got 200 grams of smoked salmon, a handful of prawns, some ricotta cheese. You can use any sort of cream cheese that you wish. I'm using ricotta. The zest of 1 lemon and a good 2 teaspoons of fresh dill. And I've left some fronds for garnish later on. I'm also going to add some horseradish sauce, and these are very interesting. These are caper berries, and they're going to be used as a garnish as well. Just take a couple out and show you. I love capers, I really do. I really think they're very, very nice. There you go. Right, so here's the easy one. Now, I don't have a food processor yet, I might add. I'm hoping Father Christmas might bring me one. But if you've got a food processor, it's even easier, just put it all in there. So I'm going to start with about 100 mils of cream. And I've whipped this cream here. It's double cream. And I've put a little bit of acidic lemon juice in it already to start with. So I put that's the fresh cream, and you can use creme fraiche if you want, excuse me. Then we're going to add about 100 grams of the ricotta, so it's 100 and 100. So about half of that, isn't it? So I'll just put that into there. As I said, if you had a mixer, you could do it in a processor. I haven't got a mixer, the old-fashioned mixer. So that is the base of it. Next I need to add the smoked salmon. Now, because I don't have a food processor, I'm just going to chop it up along with the prawns. So I'll put the prawns there as well. Excuse me. Put it out of the way. And the old-fashioned food processor, huh? Mother never had one. Well, she got one later in her life, but no, never one as a kid. So you can leave this quite thick if you like, so it's got a bit of texture in it. It's up to you. But if you're doing a processor, just don't do it too fine. It becomes very, very fine if you do that. Just give it a chop as you wish. Struggling a bit this morning. You can see it coming together now. You don't want the massive lumps, but you do want a bit of texture, so just chop it up. And along with it, the prawns, again, you like to have some small pieces of prawn in your mix. So put that in there, like so. Oh, they're nice prawns this morning. In fact, we were just talking this morning, my wife and I, and her mum and dad used to just do the prawn cocktail, isn't that right? On Christmas Eve. She said it's the correct time to have your Christmas meal. But she is Dutch and they're always right. So that's that one chopped up. Now, simple process this is now. the thing with smoked salmon is you never know quite how salty it's going to be, so don't put any salt near the place. So we'll just move this out of the way. And all you do is simply put all in the mixer or the processor, like so. Then we add, oh, smells lovely. I'm sure it tastes delicious. Then we're going to add some horseradish sauce. About a good tablespoon. Excuse me. So we'll just get what we can. So about 2 teaspoonfuls, yeah. There we go, that's in. Next I'm going to add the dill and the lemon. Pop the lemon in there, pop the dill in there. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, as they say, as I say. Right, I'm just going to put the machine on. That might be a bit noisy. You can have a look in first. Margaret Walters is watching now. Margaret, this is just for you. Margaret Walters, Margaret van der Week to me. Right, let's just pop that in there. And just beat it up. I don't want to beat it too long. Now you don't want to beat it up too long because it's got cream in it and it'll get really thick. Anyway, that's mixed in. Let's try a taste, please. Excuse me. Need a spoon for tasting. Right, let's have a taste. Now, can you see it? Can you see this texture? It's a lovely texture, lovely taste. Now, the horseradish just sets it off beautifully. What we're going to do is when you serve it, there are many different ways you can do with service. Here's one of them. This little ramekin bowl, which I've lined with some wrapping, cling wrap, and a little bit of oil before you put it in, and then put the smoked salmon in it, because we're going to make a little filling for it. So then you just get the filling that you've already done with the dill in it and the horseradish. Just pop it in here, like so, like that. Make sure it's full. Then you just simply put your folds that you've left over across, like that, like so. Then you put that in the fridge overnight, best, I think, or at least about an hour or so before you serve it. Then it'll just pull out simply. I'm not going to do it now because it's maybe not, it's not set enough, but that's how you do it. Now, the other way to serve it, there are many ways. You can have them, if there are any biscuits left, madam, on a simple biscuit, like so, and then we just pop them on here with a spoon. Like this, you can have them as you could have them a canapé, I suppose, couldn't you? A Christmas canapé. So then we just get a little fond of this. Now that looks quite nice, doesn't it? Now the other thing that we like in our household, because my wife really likes a bit of Dutch stuff. What's it called? Rokerbrood.
Rokerbrood.
It's sunflower seed bread. Now then, this makes a nice starter. Probably in 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, you don't want to butter it or anything like that because I think it just would ruin it. So we'll just put a little bit of on the rokerbrood. Like so. Oh, that's a bit much on that rokerbrood. That's probably a good Dutch portion now, I should think, Lorraine. And again, you can use caper berries like so. some fronds of fresh dill. Now just move them off the board because I don't look very smart on the board. If you have it on a plate, let's have a look what it looks like. Let's see what they look like on a plate. Now I think they look quite attractive and go down well as a starter. I'll just try one of these on a cracker, so if you don't mind, I'll just try it on a cracker, so bear with me. Lovely lemon coming through, horseradish, prawn, it's a lovely flavour. And what I like about it, it's a very simple starter. No cooking involved at all. Good for Christmas Day. So who we got there? Shahid Ahmed. Shahid, how are you? Right. That's that one done. Right. That is, excuse me, I'm eating. That's two nice tasty starters. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. The soup will be ready in about an hour, but I'll do it the day before. You don't want to be messing about on Christmas morning making soup. A little bit of cream, a little bit of sherry, gives it that final flavour. It's very, very nice. Now, I'm going to attempt, before we leave, take this out of its packaging. It might drop dead, but we'll have a go. It's very important that you just give a little bit of oil to this package. Oh, there we go, it's coming out. And there we go. That's a pretty decent starter for Christmas Day, is it not, guys? And again, all it needs, tiny bit of that. There we go. Your Christmas starter on a plate. No cooking, no nothing. Tasty as you like. Ready to go. So that's me done for today. All that's left to say is have a lovely, happy Christmas, as it's on my Christmas jumper this morning. Stay safe, please. And don't do anything silly. Try and keep safe and well. It's most important that we try that. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please tell me if you have. Please tell me if you've got any good ideas for the new year, because I'm going to be off now for the new year. Won't be doing it for a week or two. Have a lovely Christmas. Have a great time. See you soon. Bye-bye. Switch off.